everybody in America, like, sheath your weapons right now. I'm gonna make a big movement here, and everyone's gonna like freak out and say I'm a Pepega. I don't think Rosie's that good. I think Rosie is average. There's an update to the tier list. This is for the Adela patch. With the update to Adela now is been nerfed a fair bit. We're gonna go for all the changes first when people have moved up and down, and then we'll add Kathy and Adela because they're brand new. So I think the first one everyone's like fucking going for Pega in the chat about instantly is obviously Luke. Luke got nerfed a lot, and people were playing these like really tanky Luke builds, and he was doing no damage. Now people are playing more assassin base and like kind of bruiserish a little bit. He's really strong, obviously. He had the same issues that I mentioned the first time around, where he just can't run. If someone wants to fight you, they will kill you. Obviously, you can kill them too. That's how it works. But it's hard to run away as Luke. It's very easy to engage and like stay on top of people as Luke also, which is why he's strong against ranged characters. His biggest, honestly, like bonus is that MKB Monkey King Bar, which is a bat force core item, is insanely powerful. It's insanely powerful, and it probably is the best item in the game when it comes to weapons with like force cores or whatever. Especially because force cores are easy to get compared to like blood, so it's insanely powerful. And also the new heroes being added, a lot of them are melee so far. You have like, you know, Lennox, Jackie's getting very popular again, Wu's getting popular. You have things like Kathy, and Luke kind of beats people who just want to brawl him. He's kind of like Dual Blade Jackie in that regard, except not shit. He can actually kill people. Luke's gonna go... Look, he's not like he's not the best hero in the game. He's not like up here, these people. He's good though. He has some major flaws. Like if you're low elo, he's up here. He's the best in the game. But like the higher you get, he gets slightly worse. He's still really strong though. I'm gonna put him A+ for now. He's around here somewhere. Personally, they're not in ordered, by the way, in this row here. So like Fiora isn't above Luke, it's just in the A+ tier. So that's Luke. You're gonna notice a lot of heroes are going up, not so many going down. Adriana is actually really fucking good. Adriana, because again, like how Luke's doing better because everyone's playing melee, Adriana's doing better because everyone's playing melee. Adriana is a kite monster, tons of damage, the smoke screen's really annoying to catch, fire on the ground. You also find a lot of these new heroes don't have good engage tools. Heroes like Kathy, Lennox, they're just gonna walk at you. They don't really have like cool engage tools. So yeah, she's really good. I don't think she's insane, but she's one of these heroes that if you want to master, she can really move up. I'm gonna put her... She can honestly be around here somewhere. Like again, most of these heroes can go up or down a tier. It's pretty like whatever you feel like. She's not bad. She's really good. Just really hard to play. For the average person, I wouldn't recommend unless you really like fire people. You can honestly put her... You know what? If Nadine's up here, we can put Adriana up here too. She's fine. She's really good. She's really good. Zahir's not that bad. We'll get into the Zahir right now. Again, exact same thing. Melee people are everywhere. Guess what beats melee? Range characters. Zahir is a god of destroying melee. He has 1 billion damage. He freaking hurts. And because he's so niche, no one knows how to fight him. Zahir is really good. Now, I think Zahir is like... How do you call like... Not opposite of third-party proof. He's third-party susceptible. If you're fighting somebody and someone shows up and you're playing Zahir, you're probably in trouble because you don't have that many tools to get away. And most of the good heroes can run away really well. His running tool is hitting people and then running away. And even chasing's the same. It's not the best. You can't use E to chase people down with. He's very strong though. Super powerful. Good players destroy on him. I do think he's like not insanely OP though. He's just kind of solid. So, I'm going to move him up a tier. Both, they're about the same, honestly. The Shuriken one's probably better than Smoke Bomb, but they're interchangeable. The Shuriken skill's better. The weapons are normally better for the throw stuff, though. Lennox. I'm going to feel bad, because someone else is going to move up from that B tier. Dual Blade Jackie. So, she's going to go right next to her other Jackies, because they're all wrapped in different ways. And this is what made Jackie really, really interesting. So Jackie with Dagger is the ultimate rat. She just runs around everywhere, weapon skill. She has, like, the lowest average kills per game out of all the characters. It's like 0.6, something like that, out of, like, the best players. So you don't kill with her. Two-hand sword and axe are very similar, where they get, like, they're very ratty still, but they can, like, kill people, which is very, very strong. And then Dual Blade has slightly more kills, because it actually can fight back. The Moonstone Dual Blade is very, very powerful, and a lot of people just can't fight you when you go that on Jackie, and you can actually, like, be kind of powerful. I still think she's really, really weak, though. There's the playstyle. Okay, if you want to gain Elo, and you just suck at the game, if you're, like, an actual potato, Jackie is the best hero in the game to climb with. You just get 3rd place every game, you run away, and you get, like, an average of 0.5 kills. And you just slowly gain Elo 5 at a time. You keep gaining up. But it's not really that good overall. Lennox is in this row still. Oh, don't worry, like, she'll be joined by somebody soon, so don't worry. In the row, so from B, going up. So, Magnus. Now, Magnus is confusing. So Magnus, you can start with Bat or Hammer, and you can swap as you play, because obviously, some builds want shorter rather start with someone hammers, but you might actually go for a Bat build even though you start Hammer. So, the actual Hammer weapons, the Hammer weapons themselves, are really, really freaking good. The Bat weapons suck. In saying that, a lot of builds start with the Bat in order to get a short rod easily, because there's a billion hammers on the map nowadays. So, again, remember that. So, Hammer weapons, not starting, but Hammer weapons in general for Magnus are very, very good. He's like one of the best rats in the entire game. It's insane how good he can rat, but he can freaking pummel people also. And the third-party potential with the ultimate is like really, really good if you feel like ulting in, and you can still run. He's kind of like Jackie, the same problem though, where like you're just gonna end up like running away a lot of the time. Third-party kill here and there. It's kind of slow, but he's better in my opinion. He's a lot safer. He can actually kill people really well. He can't snowball as well, honestly, but he's really, really solid. And because he's like a unique character, not everybody knows how to fight him exactly. When we move the Hammer up 1 tier, and we leave the Bat where it is. The Bat, honestly, the Bat could go to B tier. The Bat is, you know what, let's put the Bat to B tier. The Bat is a meme. Like, it's auto-attack based builds, mainly, and you may as well just play Luke. Pretty much, so yeah, it's not good. The Bat is not good. The Hammer is pretty good. So the Hammer goes up, the Bat goes down. Let's touch Heart, and not in a weird way. Heart, as in the last video, is very, very powerful if you can get going. What's happening now, though, is you're seeing a lot less, satisfaction builds and a lot more of the wall. And the wall starts in factory and then goes, you know, cemetery, whatever else, yeah. But that build gets you body armor and shoes a lot quicker. You actually get lighters on your path, so you can actually make your Laurel, and you'll have full build minus Veritas by the time the Forest Tree of Life spawns. So you can pretty much beat nearly anybody at Tree of Life at Forest. Because you have Radar, you have your weapon, you have body armor, you have helmet, you have Rhino boots or feathered boots, whatever you want to make. You can make both. And the only thing you don't have is your Veritas. Same problems though, she's very, very squishy. You still get wombo combo by like certain heroes, like hedging the wombo combo you. The new heroes like Luke and Jackie, Kathy can run you over instantly if they really feel like it. A delicate one-shot you. Not so much now, with the latest patch. But the wall build's very, very good. It's more consistent. It's worse than Satisfaction, but it's more consistent. And because of that, I'm going to put Heart up. If you can get like ahead on Heart or like not die, you're like one of the best heroes in the game. But it's really, really hard. Even though you're really strong at like second zone, past second zone, everybody actually has HP, actually has movement abilities. She gets a bit worse and you can die very quickly. Okay, we got Bow. So actually Nadine here. Nadine's a hard one because I think the bow is actually really good because you end up just farming a lot. So that gives you more stacks, but the bow skill is worse for fighting. But the crossbow builds are really hard to make. Nadine is interesting. She requires a lobby to be shit, pretty much. If everybody sucks in the lobby, she gets, like, increased. Kind of like Luke, kind of like Kathy. These heroes who are really good when people are bad, because she needs to kill all the animals. And if you play in a high tier lobby, you just don't find any animals ever. So it's kind of rough for her. She's still really strong though. She can get rushed down a fair bit. You need your ultimate up to really fight people back. But she's really solid, farms up all day, tons of damage. I want to put the bow and the crossbow together, but I don't know if it's B plus or it's A. They're super close. They're like very, very close items or builds. It's just kind of how you feel. It's very RNG. I guess it's a problem with that character. If you don't get the farm, you just can't do anything. So, we'll leave it for a second, but I just want people to note that, I guess. I'll put her above each other. I'll move these at some point. I'll see where they kind of go on the list. Let's go to the top of the list real quick. Because there's somebody out here who was like being nerfed a billion times since the latest update. And that's Sniper IAR. They nerfed all the sniper rifles, and then they changed the skills where the scaling was more flat damage and less like percentage based AP. So it meant weapons with high damage are now worse because with the abilities. Guess what? Sniper rifles hit really fucking hard, and now they're a lot worse off than pistol. So, I want to move Sniper Rifle IAR. It's trash. It's awful. There is no reason to play this at all anymore. They've gutted the damage. They've nerfed the rifles themselves. They've nerfed the scaling on the abilities for IAR. They're really, really bad. There are some griefing builds still going around. They're funny, sure, but you'll never win a game with them. And even then, like, even getting kills isn't the best. If you want to like grief as IAR, just play pistol. Just get Devil's Marksman, go to Chapel, and just shoot some people up. It's insane. There's no reason to play Sniper at all anymore. So I would just... don't touch that shit. Just if you love the Sniper Rifles, just wait for Bernice and hope you use the Sniper Rifles. But yeah, she's not very good. Not very good. Who should we look at next? Daylon. So Daylon right now is super popular with nunchucks. So what they've done is, with the characters, they've nerfed the E. Beforehand, the alcohol blowing out move, it used to be an AoE silence, and then when you were tipsy, it was a slow. Now it's a slow, and when you're tipsy, it's a silence. So what used to happen was, you just go gloves and just spam E non-stop, everyone's silent, so they can't do any damage. It was really powerful, and most of your damage came from your weapon skill. Now, they've increased the Q damage, so most of your damage comes from your Q skill, and obviously the passive with it. And that makes, this glove's a bit worse, pretty much. And a lot more damage is required for your actual, like, autos and whatnot, not just spamming E. So with that, nunchuck is actually kind of insane. And I'm not even talking amps. Like, not even amp, just like normal vibro nunchuck is really, really powerful, really, really strong. I think Daylon is now not on the same tier as Hedge and Cicella. She's very, very good. One of the best in the game, probably still at our top like 5, 7-ish area. But without the silence, yeah, as Melon said, it's a bit degenerate. Now it's much more manageable. Beforehand, if you were playing Shuichi or like Sylvia against Daylon, you quit. There was nothing you could do at all. Now it's actually manageable. I think it's still really good. It's on par with nunchucks. Nunchucks might even be even better than gloves. You know, honestly, I don't want to put gloves down to A tier. That doesn't sound right to me. But nunchucks are probably better than the actual gloves right now. The problem with nunchucks is that the skill is useless. It does nothing at all. It has no value. You can like do some meme stuff in the bush, but you can hear it, so you won't get hit by it. It adds like a bit of damage to your wombo combo, I guess, when you're spamming Qs. You know what? You can go down at Daylon. It's not good. It's just not as good as nunchucks anymore. And nunchucks haven't like got enough of a buff to like be at the top tier, in my opinion. Anyway, who we got here? Emma, Cicella with the bombs, Fiora. Fiora's a hard one, man. Fiora's that same kind of thing where like you just kind of run over like kind of crappy people, but even if you're like not crappy, you can still lose to it. You just walk into a bush, W in the face instantly. It's not the nicest thing in the world. I think I might just leave it, honestly. Might just leave it. Might just leave it. What do we got here? Yuki Dual Blade. We got Wu Gloves. Where's Tonfa? Let's talk about Kiara. Kiara's in the B+ tier currently. Kiara is like this really, really polarizing hero. she is up there with Fiora when it comes to stat checks. If she has got her full build, doesn't matter how far behind. Okay, a little bit, but like, if you press ultimate, she eats you and she just whacks you in the face. You get murdered by most characters. Most characters will get murdered by Kiara. And she's really fast. She can like rat jam like reasonably well, and also chase reasonably well also. She has some issues though, like rapiers are a bit slow. Only really strong with ultimate up. You have two builds. You have the crit build and the ampy like tank builds. I think because of that, you just lose some matchups straight up. If you go with the crit build and you run into like a hedge and you just get one shot, you have like no HP. You have no defenses at all, but you can also like smack everybody in the map. So I think Kiara goes up, but again, it's probably not the most, how do you put this, like, not the most consistent hero. She's very, very good, though. She punches people really freaking hard. And you die to her sometimes and you can't get away. But yeah. But without the ultimate, she's pretty rough. It looks weird now with two lines like this, though, damn it. It's kind of weird right now with this. Let's talk about Yuki. Yuki Dual Blade. This is like a big standout straight away. Yuki Dual Blade has been nerfed a lot recently. They've nerfed the weapons, they've nerfed the actual like passive. You used to have like a passive buff in solo play when you're playing Dual Blade. I think it was 109% more damage, so or 9%. And you used to take like 6% less damage. It's now like 3% more damage or something like that. Pretty much you've just lost a lot of your damage as Dual Blade Yuki. And there's just no real reason to play it over two-hand. There are some like meme builds out there where you can like get the Moonstone Dual Blade weapon to just whack people, and it does so much damage. It's better than like playing, or better than using your ultimate. You just auto attack instead. But it's really memey. There's just not much value of Dual Blade over two-hand swords in my opinion. I'll put Yuki down a tier. It's still very good, still the same Yuki stuff, but you may have just played two-hand. Same thing with Dalen with the nunchucks versus gloves. You may have just played nunchucks. Okay, everybody in America, like, sheath your weapons right now. I'm gonna make a big movement here, and everyone's gonna like freak out and say I'm a Pepega. I don't think Rosie's that good. I think Rosie is average. Average is good. Look at this heroes in the average tier, in the A tier. What makes Rosie OP is the path. The 3-zone, like, crit, 2000 HP at level 6, that's the OP thing. The actual hero sucks. Let's say, it's okay. You have to run at people to kill them, you have really short range because your pistol, you don't really, you do a lot of damage, and you're really tanky, but you have one path that's actually good, the rest are kind of memey, or not as good, and you kind of dominate early. You dominate really early, and then you snowball from there. If you don't snowball, you can still win, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot harder. Still really good. She's A tier. She's still really fucking good. Just not as dominant as before. People like thought she was like top 3 characters in the game. It's the build. It's the exact same thing with Sylvia. You can do this build on Sylvia, Kathy, Rosie, anyone with a gun, anyone with a dagger can do it on, and it works. So, yeah, Rosie's, she's good. Just not like super dominant anymore. Just really good though. Speaking of, super dominant, two-hand sword, Fiora, it's kind of a meme. It's the same thing as these other heroes, there's just no reason to play sword, two-hand sword over this. You don't do enough damage. Let's move it down a tier. It still works, but there's like no reason to play sword over spear and rapier in my opinion. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. He's kind of better and range is better versus Shuichi, play-wise. Yeah. Like, snowballing heroes are fine. The problem with snowballing heroes is they either have to, like, snowball or they fail. And if you fail, what's your backup plan? Like, either you have to be able to farm really well, or you have to have tools that let you get around bad matchups. So, like, Adele, before she got nerfed, was like that. No matter how far behind you were, put down the pawn, put down the rook, put down the horse, checkmate, and die instantly. I don't think Rosie really has that. It's still powerful. You can still, like, run people over, even if you're behind a little bit, but it's kind of rough at time. Okay, you know what? I want to make a mention to Shuichi. Even though he's, I'm not moving up a tier. Shuichi, like, actually kind of has a bit of, like, a spot in the game. because everyone's playing these really, really int heavy builds where they just run at each other, pretty much. Shuichi can kind of clean up, and if you get lucky as Shuichi, you get like a kill or two early, you just run the whole lobby over. A lot of these people are running very squishy builds. I mentioned Kiara beforehand. Even people playing like, well, literally every hero up here has a variant that is very, very low HP, very much damage orientated, and you can just run them over and you win every time. The problem is, if people are playing the tanky versions of those characters, you don't win at all. So if you fight a Luke who's going crit, you can beat him as Shuichi, if you're like, you know, equal, slightly ahead. But if you fight a Luke who's going like Brawler, Bruiser kind of thing, he can be 5 levels behind you and you still lose to him, because he's got full tank gear and whatnot, or tanky gear. Same as Kiara, you can beat the Amp variant, you have no chance against the tank variant. You can beat the crit variant, you can't beat the tank variant. And it's just kind of how the character goes. So yeah, it's very much like who's in the lobby, but he's still really strong. And there's also builds where you go archery range and whatnot, and they're really powerful. Because no one goes archery range anymore. Like, no one plays Nadine that often, and yeah, it's pretty powerful. Should we talk about the new characters? Adela. Let's get to Adela first. Oh god, okay. So Adela day 1, week 1, is... She's like Hedgen tier. She makes herself look like a joke. She was insane. She was Hedgen 2.0. She had the same bullshit like teleports around the map, insane bursts, obviously range hero, kind of crazy. The problem with Adela, well, compared to Hedgen, was Hedgen could kite better, but Adela did a lot more damage. So she was just kind of worse, to be fair. Now, what I've done with Adela is that her chess pieces, when they interact with each other again, they do less damage, pretty much. So the hero has lost its like wombo combo one-shot potential. So Hedgen has CC, slows, knockups. Oh, sorry, that's the other hero. Either hits slows, it has fears, it has roots, all that kind of stuff. Adela has that CC, but the problem is it requires you to like line everything up. Whereas Hedgen, you just press Q, and they're slowed. You press W, they're rooted. Adela has to line a couple of things up to get that going. And her damage is so low now that it's hard, because she was very unpopular already, and people were only playing because she was OP, and now no one's playing her at all. And I don't play mages, so I'm not really like the most in depth with this. She could be either of these two tiers. She has not much damage anymore, but she can still just walk away and press like the pawn piece non-stop next to you and just keep walking. Crazy teleports. If you're a hero who has to run at somebody to like kill them, like a Kathy, it's pretty rough. If you have some sort of like, you know, speed boost or whatever, it's not too bad, but it's pretty hard. Critdella, I haven't seen a crazy amount of that. I just don't think it's much use. I think, you know, it could possibly be like B+. It could be around here. It's either or. It's hard to tell. It's a new hero, recent update. It's only been out for like, what, 4 days now, something like that. It's hard to tell. And she's not popular to start with, so it's hard. You don't see her enough to really like quantify her. Okay, if you guys thought my Rosie was a hot take, wait for Kathy. Holy shit. So Kathy is like, she's Jackie without any fucking engage tools at all. She just runs at people. She runs at people, presses Q, presses the W is very, very good. It destroys some matchups, like against Hard and against Shuichi, you can really destroy them. But once she does her big wombo combo of Q, auto attack W, Q, ultimate Q, you have nothing left. And it's a big combo, don't get me wrong. But if you don't land that combo, or they stun you as Yuki, or they dash away a little bit, whatever it is, it's really, really hard to kill people. Your engage tool is walking at them slowly. Every hero in the game just walks away from you. Every hero can just walk away from you. No one has to fight you if they don't want to. Unless, you know, you stun them or whatever. Or it's like, you know, early game, you have boots, I don't have boots. In saying that, you can snowball really, really well. You can kill people really, really early. Get ahead. Get some lifesteal items going. Multiple build options. Can do the Rosie OP build with 3 zones, super tanky. Take some Muppets Radar. Win the game off that. She is the most kills I've ever gotten in a game. And she has my highest average kills. by a lot. In saying that, I think she has some massive freaking issues. And she's been nerfed a couple of times, obviously, also, since then. This parry it? Yep. Dodge the ult. Her ultimate, getting a lower cooldown, but doing a lot less damage, is actually a massive buff. Because the hero can beat nearly most matchups you can win if you have ultimate up. You can get over, like, CC things. If I as a here, you jump over the tornado, jump over the Adriana cocktails, jump over the ultimate. You can, like, just be immune to the CC during it because you're invulnerable, or you're invulnerable to the CC, all that kind of stuff. Without the ultimate up, you're really, really weak. I'm gonna put Kathy. Hey, she's fine. She's good. She does things. She runs people over. She's kind of like Jackie early on, where everyone thinks she's the best hero in the game. I think she's alright. She's not too bad, not the worst, not the best. She just fucking gets the job done. And you just run people over, but if you don't run them over, you're in trouble. Your E is clunky to land. The W is really powerful. This isn't squads or duos, by the way. I know she has, like, different values there also because of, like, healing and, like, the reviving and whatnot. But for solo play, she's kind of works. She's fine. If you're low elo, she's probably better because no one knows how to kite at all. But at high elo, you just turn her, like, you're never going to catch a Hedgen or a Sissela or an Emma if you're playing Kathy, unless they fuck up. Which people do fuck up because people are bad at the game. Everybody's bad. I kind of want to move somebody out of this A row now just because of, like, the imbalance. We mentioned Nadine before here. Maybe Nadine goes down. I think Nadine's fine. I think, like, they're like, is there like an A/B tier? She's like in there somewhere, yeah? Like, bow and crossbow are the same now. Like, they're really, really good. Crossbow builds are harder to do. Like, it's more items. But the bow builds are faster, which means it's more consistent. But both builds require you to farm a lot, and that's not always, like, possible, I feel like. Lennox is so strange. Lennox is this hero who, like, pumps out tons of damage and can have really good matchups, but Lennox requires the opponent to mess up a little bit. She's really fast, which is nice, and she fights at that range that's perfect against Rosie's, Sylvia's, Shuichi's, that kind of, like, pistol range, pretty much. It's really, really effective. But just sometimes she just has massive issues. She could go up, honestly. She pumps damage out. She's one of these other heroes like Luke, where people worked out how to build the character now. Like, after all the nerfs, you just build damage, and you actually can hurt people again. People just gotta learn how to, like, do the builds. Because people, what happens, they nerf the character, people play the exact same builds, doesn't work, it's shit. But Lennox, like, you watch now, they go very ampy. They wear cabanas, like, they go all out. And you kind of hurt people. Low HP melee heroes, yeah. That's the whole thing, the whole game's like that, yeah. Like, she won't beat a Hedgen, but she'll shit on, like, this hero, she'll beat the Jackies kind of, maybe-ish. Good against Yuki, good against, we mentioned before, Sylvia, Rosie. I saw if they're using pistol, maybe, I guess. Heart, it's good against Heart-ish, too, so, like, it's so hard to, like, place that kind of thing. Like, I mentioned on Shuichi's thing also, where I said Shuichi destroys half the cast and gets beat by the other half. So some lobby you do really well. The two at the top, that's Hedgen and Sissela. Both heroes have great, like, kiting potential, their range, they can farm well, CC for days, damage for days. Sissela can literally go invulnerable. Hedgen has some of the most ridiculous TPs across the map because of how, like, the teleport works, where you can't be out of bounds, so you can, like, teleport across massive, like, spaces of land instantly. There's really dominant heroes. The Fiora, I think, throw me off the most. Fiora is like Shuichi, it's so polarizing, sometimes you smash people. She's one of the few heroes, I guess you could say, which can straight up just, like, stand up to Luke and just bash him back in the face, which gives him high value, because Luke is very, 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 very popular right now. Dizua, thanks for the follow, welcome. Luke, I think, is the most popular hero, or top 3 most popular hero in the game right now. Luke, Shuichi, and Tuan Yuki. So if those are the heroes you're fighting, she beats one of them. It's really good. Emma ST, you reckon? I could honestly put, you know what? Shuichi might be the ST hero. Oh, Shuichi, it's not Shuichi, sorry. Cut that out. The Xiukai. Xiukai is insane. They recently buffed him and nerfed him back slightly. Not Shuichi, though. Shuichi's not S tier. Xiukai has, like, the best of all the worlds right now. He's tanky as fuck, so he doesn't lose to these like bursty heroes. He does a fuck ton of damage. He can kite. He can rush people. He can chase people down forever. The only problem, I guess, is that your running away tools aren't the best if they're on top of you. If they're at a range, if it's a range hero, it's free because they won't be on top of you, obviously, because you're melee and you just eat away. But if you're fighting like a Yuki or a Kafi or like a, you know, whatever melee, like Wu, it's hard to run away Shukai because you can't eat anywhere. I'm gonna like move him down like here, even though it doesn't really matter. I feel like these two heroes could like honestly be the S tier. S tier for solos. The problem is, not every like games are really fast sometimes. Sometimes like at 5 minutes half the lobby's dead. And then like his value like drops a lot depending on what happens in the lobby. Like if everybody's living, it ranks weird, yeah. Like rank sometimes I've had games 10 minutes in and one guy's dead. In which case Jukai stocks are rising. But I've had games where it's 4 minutes in and half the lobby's dead. And Jukai just drops down a bunch because all the zones close off. You lose access to things like ponds really early and whatnot. If you lose like an area like factory or like anywhere for lighter, you lose early. It's really, really rough. It's like, yeah, it just depends what happens in the lobby. It's not like just him. People are probably ask in the comments also on YouTube. The reason why certain heroes look better in the tournaments when they're open pool is because everybody sucks. There's like 3 people in that lobby who know what they're doing, and the rest are just like, they're fillers. They're literally paid actors, yeah? So what happens is on heroes who need to get to the end game and have weak early games is they don't die because no one can kill them because the player's better. So Hard is a hero who is like a level like 5 to like 8, you're like insanely powerful. Even 5 to like 8, you're incredibly powerful. 9 to like 14, you're trash, and then you're good at the end again. That mid game is the problem. But like if you can kill somebody early and get to that mid game or pass the mid game much earlier, get your loot earlier, doesn't matter who you're playing, you're gonna win. But it's not consistent. That's the problem.